what I was attempting to juxtapose, Charlie, maybe inartfully, but what I was attempting to juxtapose was the advocates of same-sex marriage say the reason for doing this, in part, is because the public in New Jersey wants it. So I say, okay, have a referendum and prove it. What I said was juxtaposed against the civil rights movement where that was not an option for them because the political climate in the South in that period of time would not have permitted a referendum to have any chance of passage. That's all I was attempting to do. And all this spin up after it is kind of like, at great risk to repeat this, Maria's going to throw a book at me, it's kind of like saying you should take a bat to Loretta Weinberg, okay? You don't mean take a bat to Loretta Weinberg, literally, okay? In the same way, what I was attempting to say was political climate, according to same-sex marriage advocates, today in New Jersey favors same-sex marriage. What I said was, I'm sure that civil rights advocates would have liked to have this as another option, but it was not available to them. And the reason it wasn't, although I didn't say this, was because the political climate was not advantageous to even consider doing it. And to try to make this something other than that is just so transparently political that it rises to the same joke level that, you know, the Loretta Weinberg comment raises to when you had people like Valerie Huddle putting out messages I was advocating violence against women. I mean, you know, come on. I was no more advocating violence against women with that than I was advocating last week somehow that I misunderstood history, that a referendum would pass in Alabama with George Wallace as governor. Yet you have numbnuts like Reed Gashura who put out a statement, you know, comparing me to George Wallace and Lester Maddox. Now, you know, come on, guys. At some point, you've got to be able to call BS on those kind of press releases. You know, there are any number of you in this room who may have quarrels with my policies. George Wallace and Lester Maddox, you know, I don't think they were advocating for urban education in their time in office. So I think we got a pretty good distinction there. And I think, quite frankly, that those who say things like that, like Ashura, should be ashamed of themselves. That they're that desperate to try to change the topic on this issue, that they would actually raise those folks, reprehensible people in America's history.